Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to another Locals feature match. Here we are in the fourth and final round for March 25th's Locals. And we've got Runick, Naturia on the left versus branded Despia on the right. Also, again, like I've said in the past couple videos, currently doing a fundraiser for the Clean Air Task Force. Just a little under 2 weeks left, so if you'd like to donate, again, please feel free to. We do have some cool donation incentives going alongside it, as I've outlined in the One Deck 1 Month series for Photon Galaxy. So check that if you haven't already. I'll leave a link up into the top right. And if you can't donate for whatever reason, again, please feel free to share the videos around. So yeah, so we're going to see the Naturia Runick deck go first. They're going to resolve Fountain and just end on Huggins. Fountain, one set. They do have Ash in hand, which honestly could just be enough against the given deck they're playing against. And they're going to start by activating Fusion Deployment. Will they go ahead and Ash? Are they afraid of the Neos, the Aqua Dolphin package? But once they say, you know what, fine, Fusion Deployment's okay, they're going to activate the branded opening. Then they're going to Ash. They're going to Ash there. And they're just good enough. You know, they got called by the grave. And they're going to discard Branded Expulsion. Yeah, with the hand that they had, didn't seem like they opened up super stellar. Considering maybe the opening wasn't going to resolve had they not had the one-up called by, but they do. So they're going to bring out Cartesia with the deployment. They're going to bring out Albert with the opening. Albert, of course, will grab the branded fusion, activate fusion spell, absolute fusion moment right there. Bringing out Albion effect, banishing Albaz and Aluber. Going into Lubellion, and then Lubellion effect, discarding a Book of Eclipse, putting back the Albaz and the Lubellion, going into Mirror Jade. That is a Starlight Mirror Jade, I might add, as well. Starlight Fusions do be looking kind of nice. And speaking of Book of Eclipse, you're going to see a Book of Eclipse from our Runick Sprite player. Not Runick Sprite, sorry. A Runick Naturia. And we'll see if they have a response. I mean, imagine they'll probably chain Mirror Jade. Just because, why not? And then you just delete Huggin. Delete that card for the free. So it looks like they'll go ahead and do exactly that. They're going to dump. I'm not sure what that fusion monster is. I want to keep saying Brigand, but I know it's not Brigand. The Glory Dragon. But I think there was also a ruling question here right now as to whether or not Bestial Lubellion could send off a face-down monster. Given the specifics of the Bestial Lubellion, need to sending a level 6 or higher Dark. And it looks like it was ruled that they can. I'm not sure if that's correct offhand. I'm not a judge. But we're going to see the Flashing Fire get activated in response to the Bestial Lubellion to try to grab a branded spell or trap from the deck. It's going to get negated, and they'll banish a couple cards off the top. One of them being Tragedy. And I want to say I think that's going to trigger the Tragedy to go ahead and get the Search. Which it is, and that is hilarious. Talk about having a bad matchup. So they just get to search Aluber for free. Normal summon Albuber. And they're just going to go battle phase. But first, Runick spell. I swear, like Flashing Fighter and Destruction look almost exactly the same. And the small preview that I commentate on, they look almost the same. So they're going to go for Runick spell. Bring out Huggins, discard to search field spell, and then chain field spell to put back 3 and draw 3. So not only do we get an extra fountain, but they get to draw 3. Hopefully they can draw into some Naturia cards. It looks like they have. I see Sacred Tree, I see Blessing, and I think I saw Mole Cricket in the hand as well. So they're going to proceed to the end phase here, and they're going to get the effect of Albion to set from the deck. They're going to get Branded in the red. They're also going to get that draw 2, of course, from 2 monsters being flipped face up from the opponent's Book of Eclipse. So they're just going to go ahead and pass turn there. They've got to worry about Branded in red. They've got to worry about Mirror Jade. Quite a bit of things here to have to deal with. And Albaz getting added to hand. I think that was off the fusion that was sent off of the Mirror Jade as well. So they have quite a bit of follow-up. Quite a bit of follow-up here. I see Smiting Storm in hand as well, alongside another Runick spell that might be flashing fire. So we will see them normal summon Mole Cricket, which does have a quick effect, basically to spec 2 Naturia monsters in the deck, since his opponent does control the highest attack monster on the board. And it looks like on summon Mole Cricket, we're going to see them use Cartesia. In response to Cartesia, we're going to see them chain Flashing Fire to pop Cartesia, banish 2 off the top. And they did misread Cartesia, they just have misunderstood Cartesia. But Cartesia does not need to use herself as fusion material. So they will be able to still perform the fusion summon, getting rid of Alibur and Fallen of Albaz for Lubellion. Lubellion effect, discarding Dark Magician, the Ultimate Wizard, and we're going to see in response to Lubellion, chaining Mole Cricket, tributing for cost, go ahead and spec 2 Naturias from the deck. Things are getting heated here, folks. How will they all play out? And they've got Blessing, which of course is a quick effect. I don't really think helps them out too much. They did banish a Foolish and a Bestial, or no, not Bestial Baldrick. That is Gimmick Puppet Nightmare out of the deck. And they will get Diffuse for Dragoon here. And they do negate the Mole Cricket with Mercurier. So following this up, they're going to attempt to activate Blessing to bring back the Mole Cricket. The Cricket has returned. And all that card advantage generated from several Runick Fountains has dwindled greatly now, and they still have to worry about a Dragoon plus Branded in red, which you know is going to go for, you know, the Chimera, popping tons of cards, drawing more cards, and I don't think they've even used Mirror Jade, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and use Mirror Jade now. Dumping off Albion, and then they're going to chain Smiting Storm, which I honestly can't even remember offhand what Smiting Storm's effect is that doesn't summon from the extra. I think it makes the opponent banish a card for every card they control. I could be wrong, but they're going to bring out Hugin here with it. And so Mirror Jade is going to resolve now. Banishing the Mole Cricket. New chain, Fountain, Dragoon, negates. Yes, it can negate cards and effects because it is that good. So we are into a game 2. Game 2 is kind of a grindy game 1 there, kind of grindy. So in game 2, we're gonna see the Runick Sprite deck go first, activating Flashing Fire to go ahead and bring out Hugin. Activating Hugin effect, discarding Mole Cricket. There's Ash Blossom. We're gonna follow that up with Foolish Burial Goods, and this is gonna go ahead and dump the Sacred Tree. If this card is sent to the graveyard, add a Naturia card from your deck to your hand, except Sacred Tree. They're gonna add Camellia. One of the main pieces behind why that this deck can work so well. They're going to use Camellia to dump a Naturia card. They're going to dump another Sacred Tree that's going to let them add Blessing. And then they're going to go ahead and link off. Or no, not link, sorry. They're going to Synchro because Camellia is a tuner. Keep forgetting that. Into Stardust Charge Warrior. So they get a free draw and they find Fountain off the top. One hell of a draw there off of the Fountain. And they're going to activate Blessing. That is going to go ahead and revive and Naturia from grave, one of the many effects that it has, reviving the Naturia. That's going to allow them to Synchro Climb into Baron. And they've got a Bestial in hand, and I think they have one Runick spell as well. So they did open up pretty exceptional here in game 2. And we'll see if the branded deck has enough gas to get through it. I mean, I've definitely seen branded decks push through pretty big boards. And this isn't really a big board at all. It really isn't. I mean, it's just Baron plus potential draw 3 and a Bestial. Depending on what the draw 3... Well, it might not even be a draw 3. Because they'd have only 2 runic spells. I think they have Freezing Curses in hand, which is the Chalice. They're going to go ahead and use the Fusion deployment to bring out Albaz. And Albaz is going to discard Retribution, attempt to Fusion. And they're going to go ahead and chain the Freezing Curses to negate, banish top 3. Getting rid of Merc, Ash, and a opening. Fountain's going to go ahead and put back 2, draw 2. And Mercurier was banished, so they can get a free search. It's literally just free cards because they're activating their own cards. Like, they are good because they're stopping things, right? Like, stopping Albaz. But then you're just randomly giving them free cards. It's got to be rough. Normal summon Aliber. That is going to go ahead and grab Branded Lost. And then they're going to use Albion, the Shrouded Dragon. And they are thinking on what they would like to send to the graveyard off of it. They will dump Branded in red. So they do have the Retribution engraved, so they can use that to get back any one of those Branded Spark Traps. They have the Branded Fusion. There's Ash Blossom. Right, so no Fusion summoning for you. And then we're going to see Cartesia hit the board. And Cartesia is going to go ahead and get negated by the Baron. And its attempt to fusion. And what else left is there really to do instead of just go battle phase? Okay, we're going to go battle phase. We're going to crash the Albaz. And then use Retribution to add back Brandon Red. Activate Brandon Red. Target Albaz. And there's that Bestial Magnamut. Coming in so very clutch to shut down a potential really good follow-up play that the Bestial really was just the final nail in the coffin. They did hard open it, though. They didn't draw it off the fountain, if that makes you feel any better. So we're into a Game 3 situation. Naturia Runick able to tie it up. We're going to see Despia go first here in Game 3, activating Aliber, grabbing Branded Fusion. Drumroll, please. Branded Fusion does resolve. It's always a feel-good moment, right, if you're playing the deck. So we will see Albaz being sent as one of the targets for Branded Fusion. And we'll see if they dump Bestial Lubellion. They're looking at possibly sending it there, and they will. And they're going to bring out Albion, and then they'll probably go into Lubellion, and then Lubellion into Mirror Jade, or possibly the Lagoon. If they have access to that. Can't necessarily see all of the cards in their hand there. Looks like a very monster heavy hand. But they're going to go ahead and banish Mercurier and Aliber to go for Masquerade. And that's going to trigger Mercurier to go ahead and grab a copy of Albion. The Shrouded Dragon. Effect, dump Retribution. And then using the effect of, well, first, we're using Bestial Lubellion. Then, once we get the Branded Lost out of the deck, then we're using Albion the Shrouded Dragon, dump Retribution, put it at the bottom, draw, special summon Cartesia. They have decent sort of follow-up set up in the graveyard. They've already got Albion set up in grave, so to getting that end phase of Branded in red. And they're going to have that set up with Branded Lost, which is already just really solid. They're going to go into Grand Guignol, which is going to dump a level 6 light or dark. Level 6 or higher light or dark from extra deck or deck to the graveyard. Could you imagine if it just said any light or dark? The card would literally be insane. They're going to go ahead and dump Sarnier. Sarnier effect to go ahead and send the Expulsion. And then they're going to go ahead and use Retribution. That's going to fetch back the Expulsion. Uh-oh. Are we about to see an absolute nightmare situation? I do see that Gimmick Puppet lurking in the graveyard. Things not looking too good here for our Runick player. They're going to go ahead and set. I think that was Brandon Red. That was kind of quick there. Cartesia adds itself back. And I hope they didn't use Cartesia's effect there and the effect to add back, because I don't think you can use both of them in the same turn. But they're going to go ahead and fire off that Expulsion as soon as they can. And they're going to get Huggins out on board first. So they at least have something going for them. And yeah, there's that Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. No special summoning for you the rest of this turn. And they're going to start taking little bits of damage here. 600 there, 600 there from the Masquerade. And they're going to bring out Albaz. Albaz is going to get rid of the Huggins, going for Mirror Jade. Sure, yeah, you get your field spell. Things, yeah, things looking not good here whatsoever. They got Brandon Law searching out Mercurier, so they've got that negate there. They've got the interruption and Mirror Jade constantly taking damage now from Masquerade. They've still got Brandon Red Set, looking almost impossible to get through this field, especially considering the fact that the Gimmick Puppet is on board. But at least you have Runick cards to kind of maybe get you through the next turn. They're going to do a normal summon Camellia, activate effect, to go ahead and add a, or we'll send a Naturia card from deck to the grave. They're going to go ahead and dump Mole Cricket. And they have Blessing. They cannot use it this turn. So they're going to go ahead and set Blessing, set Sacred Tree, set, or well, not set, activate Field Spell rather. And is this where we just have a field day and pop the 2 set and go for Guardian Chimera? I'd love to see that actually. Just activate Brandon Red and just clear those 2 sets for literally free. Absolutely free. But I mean, maybe we're afraid of a Bestial, but I mean, if they got a Bestial at this point, they got a Bestial. But I feel like, yeah, if you just activate Brandon Red here, and you get rid of the Masquerade and the Bestial Lebellion, I feel like, or maybe you don't even pop both back, all right? You clear the fountain at least, and then you get rid of a back row. But they're going to chain Mirror Jade in response, and then they're going to go for what is possibly going to be a Chimera play here. Yep, there it is. So they're going to use the Mirror Jade as one of the fusion materials, so they can keep the Masquerade on field. And then, yep, there's Guardian Chimera, drawing 1, popping 2, getting rid of 2 back row, well, 1 back row in the field spell, and that's just gonna be it. Yeah, when the nightmare is Gimmick Puppet night. I don't even know what I'm saying, but that is gonna do it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. And as always, a huge shout out goes to our current Divine Level channel members who are Misfit, HC8, Cyber Cadillacs 84, and Pony Star. Thank you guys so much for your extremely kind and very, very generous support of my channel.